Anyway, so we're going to be calling up Caleb McCoy right now to speak with him. If you guys are online, check out our Facebook page. It is HopeJamz Radio. We also have a Twitter, 70x7 Music. There you go. You can hear the ring. We're going to go straight in live. It's how we do now. Let's roll with it. Caleb, you there, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man. Welcome to HopeJamz. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, brother. Good to have you on the show, man. So we just jumped into your first track right there, which was Far Away. And this was showcasing from your new album, which is the Oak Season 3, man. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations with that, man.
Thank you. It was a long time coming. I worked a long time to put out that album. So thank you.
Yeah, man. And, I'm always quite honest about when I meet artists and stuff. And to be honest, mate, I only found you this week, so I don't know much about you. So because it's Oak Season 3, do I presume that there's been an Oak Season 1 and 2 already?
Yes, that is a sound assessment. Yes. So I put out. So the Oak stands for the one of a kind, and it's the kind of the brand or the cover that I've been doing music under. And so I put out I guess it was a mixtape. You call it a mixtape. I put that out on Rapzilla and Noise Trade. I put that out, I think now about 4 years ago. And so that was like my first kind of introduction to me doing Christian hip hop. It got some, it started a little bit since I put it on Rapzilla. And I did the Oak Season 2 about a year after that. Then I did an EP and a couple other singles and stuff and videos. And so this is the Oak Season 3. So yeah, you can catch the Oak Season 1 and 2 on SoundCloud or Rapzilla, I think. You can catch them on Rapzilla or YouTube or something like that.
Nice one, man. All right, man. Well, what I normally do with artists that are new to HopeJamz, new to the scene over here, is just to get like an introduction, man. So if you wouldn't mind giving us kind of an intro of who you are and kind of where you came from and how you got into the scene, that'd be great, man.
Cool, yeah. My name is Caleb McCoy. I am born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. So a little bit of a distance from where you guys are.
Yeah, man.
Side note, I saw you had Patrick James on. I think you had him on your site.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Patrick, yeah, Path. We had Path on last weekend actually because he was showcasing his new single, Mission.
Yeah. So he's not too far from me. I know him, but yeah. So from Massachusetts. I've been doing Christian hip hop probably for about 4 or 5 years. But I grew up in church. My parents were worship leaders. But I stopped going to church pretty quickly when I was a teenager. Didn't really see myself or find myself in the church until I was maybe mid to late 20s. So I wasn't really familiar with any Christian hip hop. I've only been like a Christian hip hop fan for maybe the past like 5 years. And so, I guess as God called me back to himself, he started to put that passion for hip hop back into me, because I used to do secular hip hop with a group, and we used to rap about, the same old stuff that you hear people rapping about now. And so when I became a believer or started to get convicted, I just quit. And then eventually, I think God put the passion back in me. And so, I just got the idea I wanted to do something unique. I didn't want to, at that time, I wasn't familiar with Christian hip hop. So I was like, God, I don't want to do nothing corny. I don't want to do nothing corny, but I want to do something that represents me and who you're calling me to be. And so I wanted to do something unique. And so that's where the Oak came from. I wanted to do something one of a kind. And so, I've been doing that for the past 5 years, just trying to get in where I fit in, and it's been going well.
Yeah, man. So when you say Oak, what was the actual terminology behind that? What does that actually mean?
Well, the direct acronym is one of a kind, even though the other is kind of silent. But one of a kind. So that's the acronym for it.
So one of a kind, season 3, and then that's quite a long album. I realized as well. How many tracks on total?
17 with 2 interludes.
Wow, that's a big deal, man.
Yeah. It took me a while, and I had more tracks, but I took them off. They didn't make it, but because I wanted every track. I didn't want you to be able to skip a track, and I'm sure that's what everybody does. But so far, most of the people that really dive into the album, they notice they can appreciate the body of work that it is. And so I worked, I've been working on this joint for about 3 years, trying to make sure that it's a real body of work. I know these days dudes is doing most people do EPs and singles and, but I wanted to do a body of work.
Yeah, man. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, man. You just got to make sure you got the fan base, I guess, to back it up, kind of thing, to support you when you do drop it, I guess. But definitely, man. I mean, 3 years for that, and that's a good piece of work to put out. And so, how have you found that the general reception has been so far?
Oh, it's been good, man. I mean, I because I'm not signed, I got to work. I got to work really hard to get it to like external blogs and stuff. But I have a really good support base here in this area, in this general area. I perform all the time around here, around this, the Northeast of the United States. And so it's been good. It's been anybody that's really given the album a chance has pretty much been hooked on it. And I've gotten all types of messages, DMs, calls, texts, just telling me how the album's impacted them. And even before the album, I had built up a pretty good fan base. So I raised my support through support letters and I did a Kickstarter. And so I raised a lot of the funds to be able to do this album.
Yeah, man. That's a really good. That's good that you got the support to do it. So how much money did you need to raise to actually make it happen?
It's the album was probably about $10,000. I raised about 5,000, maybe a little bit more.
Wow. Well, that's good, man. I mean, that, at least then you got the support there, and obviously people wanted to hear more music from you. That must be a good feeling.
Yes, it was. And I was, I if I hadn't have felt that, I probably wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing. If I haven't been doing it that long, but after a year or two, you can kind of get a feel of whether you got people really, whether this is your calling or not. And so, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the gifts that God gives, and I'm pretty confident that this is one of mine. And so I'm thankful, and I want to steward it well.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, keep going, man. I mean, you got the support, so now it's kind of like game time. I guess you can, you can keep putting your aura in and keep going for it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, man. So I want to get into your next two, man. I want to let you to introduce it. So the next one we got is Get It Back. Do you want to tell us about that one and introduce it?
Yeah. So Get It Back. This journey is about our lives, but it's also about the specific idols that we have. So when we're thinking about coming to the Lord, and we have some areas in our life where we don't want to give up, and if we do give it up, there's going to be a significant lack in our lives. And so, this is kind of the wrestle about when we give things up, we need God to replace that with a greater joy. That's when the chorus says, lay my life down just to get it back, because there's certain things that I've had to lay down and continue to have to lay down every day that I need God to replace that with a greater joy. So that's why it's called Get It Back. As believers, we lay our lives down in hopes that we're going to get it back.